Hello and namaste. I am Harshala and I welcome you to my channel. So I know this video was supposed to come out sometime in February and now we are in May. But if you have been following me on this channel, you guys know what a clusterfuck of a month January was. Like January, February and like start of March was like not good month. Like I was not physically well, so here I am like finally sitting down and wrapping up the month of January for you guys. So I read 18 books in the month of January, and here are a few stats. So I read 18 books in January, 6,492 pages, and these were my moods. Like most of it was like emotional, dark, adventurous and tense. And then I only read fiction books, and the genres that I read were like somewhere between romance, fantasy, young adult and contemporary. Then the pace was mostly like medium to fast pace, and the number of pages, like the books were generally between 300 to 500 pages. Few books were like 17% of my books were more than 500 pages, and 28% of my books were less than 300 pages. The only language that I read was English, and my average rating for all the 18 books was 2.64 stars, which is like very low. I generally have a average rating of 3.5 stars. So yeah, average rating, according to the average rating stats, January was not like one of the best months that as much as I wanted it to be. And I also participated in the January Pages Challenge, which was hosted by Storygraph, and it like the only goal was to like read every single day for the month of January. So yes, I did read for every single day in the month of January, which is like 31 days, and you won't believe it, like I have read every single day for the year 2024. Like I have not even missed one single day according to my Kindle. So like I am very proud of it. And yeah, that is it for my stats. Moving on, the theme for the month of January was fantasy, and the first book series that I picked up was the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I also have like a detailed reading vlog where I am reading like all 5 books from the series. And every single YouTuber that I saw who were like recommending fantasy series or fantasy books have told to start with the Cruel Prince series. And somewhere I want to, and I think I should tell you guys that I beg to differ. That is not the first fantasy book that you should be reading, or the first fantasy series that you should be picking up. I absolutely adore the series because of Jude and Carden. The characters are good, but plot wise the book doesn't offer you much. The world building is good, I like the world building, but plot wise all the 3 books, like there are 5 books in the series. The first one is the Cruel Prince, the second one is the Lost Sisters, which is like a 50 or 52 pages novella, which is from the point of view of one of the characters called Taryn. The third book is the Wicked King, then comes the Queen of Nothing, and finally How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate. And there is another like a book which I actually found on I found a PDF on the internet, and I do not recommend doing it for other books, but I do recommend that you just get your hands on this book, which is basically Letters from Jude to Carden is what the title of the book is. That book I actually read like in the month of May. So yeah, in January I did not read that book, and it is basically a collection of letters that Carden and like Jude, Carden writes to Jude, which his mother, Lady Asha, like doesn't let them out, so the letters never reach Jude. And oh my god, those letters are so heart touching. If you like love the character of Carden, you definitely have to get your hands on that book. But coming back to the 5 books that I actually read in the month of January, I'll give the Cruel Prince a good 3 stars, the Wicked King a good 4 stars, because the enemies to lovers in that, oh my god, the chemistry is so freaking sizzling, I just cannot tell you guys. The only reason that I see so many YouTubers recommending this book to begin with when you start your fantasy journey is because I understand that it is easy to read, the world building is amazing, but the plot sucks. And the book that I hated, I am like telling you guys the word hated, is the Queen of Nothing. Like the plot towards the end, it it like it took such a deep like nosedive. I like hated what happens to Carden at the end of the book and how the story ends. I would have been like, I have said this in my reading vlog, and I'm telling you guys this again, that I would have been more happy if the ending was not happy, instead of giving us that pathetic ending. Okay, yeah, you guys might have different opinions, but yeah, every reader is different, and this is what I feel. I think that whatever happens to the character should, do justice to the story, instead of like just giving randomly happy ending because readers love happy ending. Yeah, so that is what I have to say about that one. The Lost Sisters is like a 50 pages novella, but I still hate Taryn as much as I did at the start of the series. And the last novella, like the fifth novella, is How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate. I did not enjoy the book at all. Okay, I just did not enjoy the book at all. You can totally skip it. Like, you are not missing out on anything. Yeah, so that is my quick kind of review on the entire Cruel Prince series. Moving on to the next series that I read was The Daughter of No Worlds. The series is called The War of Lost Hearts by Carissa Broadbent, and I also have another reading vlog for the entire like series. So I will have to say this series is not that easy to read. Trust me when I say this, and I am like a newbie when it comes to reading fantasy. Like, I might have read like what more, not more than like 30-40 books when it comes to fantasy. So I still consider myself a newbie, and the book one is like good, not easy to read. As I said, like, the world building is a bit complex. There are a few things that you will take time to get used to if you are not like used to reading a lot of fantasy books. What I did is, like, the books are chunky. Okay, it is not like a 300 or a 400 pages book. If you like want to know more about the Cruel Prince series, I will share the link in the description box below to the detailed video. Also, if you want to know the story or the detailed video about, or just about the War of Lost Hearts, I will also share the link to the vlog in the description box below. And I just want to like sum up the entire series, the War of Lost Hearts series. So the first book is Daughter of No Worlds, which I gave a good 4-star. Like, the start to the book was very good. The chemistry between Tisana and Max, like, oh man, Max and Darius and Tisana, like, they still are like my favorite couple for 2024. And then the movie, what, like, this is what happens when you decide to film at 2 a.m. at night. The second book is what, I forgot, wait, the name of the book, give me a second. The second book is called Children of Fallen Gods, and that book was slightly, I was disappointed with that book because it was too intense, like too intense for me. Though the new two characters that were introduced in the book did steal the show. And like Afa's character, oh my god, like, it was so freaking interesting and I was so hooked. I wanted more of Afa, but sadly, that is not what the author thought the story deserves. And the third book in the series is called Mother of Death and Dawn, and I gave that book a 3.5 stars. So yeah, only the second book slightly, like, it is the problem with that book is, like, it is too tense, like too tense. There are not many moments where you will feel, because of the character of Max and then Samarine, you are used to a sweet kind of banter, and there is some sarcasm involved. But in book 2, not much is involved, because most of the book, Max and Darius is like, not like, he's just not present there. His character is like too grim. I just disliked the entire mood and the vibe of book 2. But the book does pick up in book 3, but I was slightly disappointed with the ending that Afa and Kaduan got, and I really wish that they had a happy ending. This is me saying it because they definitely deserve better. So yeah, that is the War of Lost Hearts for you guys. Again, reminding you guys, the link to the entire vlog and detailed review is in the description box below. So in between reading the War of Lost Hearts, I actually read a few romance books. by a new author called Shane Rose, and I think that was the worst decision of my life. Like, if you have been on this channel, like, I try to, not talk harshly about someone's work, someone's writing, and I try to present it that that doesn't suit me. Some books or some things don't just work out for me, but this book, you like, I'm just warning you guys, do not waste your time with this book. The book is called Fractured Freedom, and I have like no words. It gets a 1 star. I don't even want to like dive in into the story. I just want to tell you guys, like, I read the Fractured Freedom, and then I also read like book 3, Corrupted Chaos, by the same author. I actually saw this short by this author on her own YouTube channel, and I kind of got tempted, because I think that was about this coder, this girl who is like a hacker. And I instantly, like, got excited, because I love girls who are into hacking and all that cool stuff, because I love mafia romance. So whenever I see girls getting involved in any type of crime, and they, like, the main character getting involved in any type of crime, and that character is a female, I am like instantly happy. So I went ahead, and then when I like finished reading the book, I because I didn't want to DNF the books, I did read them. But I do not like recommend any of the books. Both the books, Fractured Freedom and Corrupted Chaos, get 1 star from me. I did like the characters of like the female characters, but apart from that, like, there is nothing to talk about. Just skip those books. Then I read Revenge Era. Again, it was recommended on one of the shorts, and it is like total Taylor Swift vibe, not wife. It gives a total Taylor Swift vibe, and I am not a Swiftie, so I was not that crazy. But the plot was like kind of interesting, because it revolves around the story of a pop star. Yeah, I think so. Basically a rock star. She is like a female, and then she like is like cheated on by her boyfriend, so she decides to take revenge. The name of the book is Revenge Era, and like it is like she takes revenge on her boyfriend who cheated on her, like he's a gay, by hooking up with his father. If you are into that, definitely go ahead. Like, it is like the tropes are like age gap, and the main male character is also like possessive, obsessed. And I again gave it a 1 star, but it was like a very Wattpaddy, and I don't think that you should like invest a lot of time in reading something. Like, there are many books that you can read, you can just skip this one. The next book that I read, which was like a very short book, it just had like 70 pages, and it is called Hacker. Because remember that Corrupted Chaos or Fractured Freedom, I don't remember, like one of those books is like about the hacker who is like a main female character. So I found this, like, I was craving a hacker, like a female main character who is a hacker kind of book. And the book is called Hacker by Casey Mint. It is like a 72 pages book, and here this main female character is a hacker, and like she hacks, and kind of she's like obsessed with our main male character who is like a mafia don or a mafia boss. And then like someone is like going to attempt a murder on him, and like she warns him, and that is how like her identity is revealed, because she's like stalking him. Like, yeah, like the main female character is a stalker here. It is not very long, but it is so well written, and like I loved it. Okay, I loved the entire vibe and the entire chemistry between them. Like 72 pages mein jitna ho sakta hai na, the author has done justice, and I gave that book a 3 star. Next, I read Ghosted, and at the time when I read, I definitely thought that I'm giving this book a 5 star, but no, I slept over it. I remember I posted on my Instagram stories that yeah, I found the first 5 star read, but so far 5 months in, I do not have one single 5 star read, and that is going to change like in the month of May or in June, because I'm going to like very specifically select books that other people have given 5 star. So yeah, Ghosted is basically about this couple who were like in love with each other during high school, and like the guy is a actor, he like becomes an actor, and the girl like is like she supports him, but something happens between them, like the guy is alcoholic and stuff, and then they just part their ways, and the girl ends up being pregnant, and like she gives birth to their child, and like she's a single mom. The guy does know about their child, and the thing is that the story is so well written. Like, I don't remember the name of the author, because like this is the first book that I read by the author. Yeah, J.M. Dar Howard is, I think, how it is pronounced. And I gave the book a 4 star, and the book is like genuinely nicely written. There the writing style is like very different. There are like journal entries kind of involved, and I absolutely loved the writing. I loved the story, and I love how beautifully the entire plot is like written and executed. I just loved it. So I definitely, like, if I wouldn't have found better books which I gave like 4.5 star, I would have definitely given this book a 4.5 star. But there were slightly things that could have been better, like there could have been more chemistry, slightly, not much, slightly. There could have been less miscommunication. I like, technically, I dislike that the miscommunication, entire vibe of that miscommunication thing. So yeah, that is something that sucked, and that is why I am giving this book a 4 star. Moving on, I reread another book. No, I think this was the first book that I reread, and it is called Owned by a Sinner by Michelle Hurd. Like, I have read all Michelle Hurd books. Even the books that I did not like, I end up finishing it. So the main male character's name is Liam, and our main female character is Kiara. This is like a mafia romance, kind of dark mafia romance, and Liam is the boss of the Irish mafia, and Kiara is like the daughter of one of the men of the mafia boss. Yeah, so like she starts working under Liam's company, and like she's like harassed and abused and assaulted by his younger step brother, and he kind of rescues her. And then stuff happens, a lot of stuff happens, and I don't want to give away more of the plot. But yeah, it is like a pretty average book, and I kind of forgot that I had read this book, and that is why I decided to reread it, and I gave it a good 3 star. The chemistry slightly lacked. And moving on, I then read PS You Are Intolerable. So like, this book was again something that most of the booktubers were like in awe of. Like, many of them like were like, oh my god, this is like one of the best books. But mind you, like, this book is not for everyone. Like, these romance books, you have to first remove your brain and keep it out. Remove your like feminism from your body and keep it aside. Like, pack it in a jar till you're reading such books, because no, they are not like books that makes sense. Okay, and there are a lot of kings in PS You Are Intolerable, and the author of this book is Julia Wolf. This is the first book that I read by the author, and I instantly like fell in love with her books. I have like so far read like this series, The Harder They Fall. Like, there are 4 books in the series, and the 4th book, like, there were 3 books in the series, and PS You Are Intolerable is the 3rd book, and that is the first book that I read. But I suggest that you read the entire series chronologically. The 4th book just came out on 16th May, and like I have started reading it, and like that book, like the last book, is about one of my favorite characters, and I don't know like how that book is gonna be. But this book, PS You Are Intolerable, is basically a kind of office romance, and the tropes are grumpy boss, like grumpy main character, and the sunshine female character. The main female character is curvy. There is close proximity. The main female character is a single mom, like there is pregnancy involved, and then there are a lot of kings involved, and like he's the boss, she's the assistant to the boss. And I really liked this author's writing a lot, especially when there are like, it is like the romance is there, and it is like slow slow pace, slow burn. Yeah, the right word is slow burn. But the way the writer has, like, depicted the struggles of a single mother, and the entire, the pregnancy, and the end of pregnancy, and how, how challenging it is to become a new mother, and then, the reality of what actually goes on when you have a child, the romance with a child, when you are a mother with a baby. Things are not that easy. Everything is like depicted very nicely. Like, I like it. There is lactation king, so if that is like one of your triggers, or your icks, please do not read this book. But I think that you will not, regret reading this book. The author is like so good. Like, one of her other series, like the Savage You, I think, yeah, that series is called Savage You. I absolutely adore that series. Like, there is this one couple, like one book about Elsa and Locke. Oh my god, I have like no word. I absolutely love this author, and this author is like definitely worth giving a shot. So far, all the books that I have mentioned are available on Kindle Unlimited. So please do subscribe to Kindle and get all the free books. Like, all the books that I mentioned are available on Kindle Unlimited, except for two novellas, that is The Lost Sisters and How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. And yeah, the next book, okay, I did not like gave you the ratings. I gave this book a good 3.5 stars. The chemistry is good, and the story is also good. There are not like many plot twists, but the story is very beautiful. Like, if you like love the entire single mom, or single parent trope, you are gonna love this book. Then I did a reading challenge, 24-hour reading challenge, which, like, I will share the link in the description box below. And throughout that video, I was like so freaking sick. I had like a bad case of cough, cold, fever. I was so unwell, but I did complete that challenge. And the first book that I read was Alice in Wonderland. And because I do not read classics, so yeah, I'm just like going to mention that I read Alice in Wonderland. And then I read Samsara, Enter the Valley of Gods. Recently, I went to Lock the Box event. Many of you have like joined my channel via the Lock the Box book video, like book haul video, and you guys might know that I actually got to meet Saksham Garg, the author of Samsara, and I also like got a signed copy of his book, and I actually got to have a conversation with him. Like, I sucked, okay, I was so freaking socially awkward at that time, that I was like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing that could happen to me. But yeah, I'm working on it. I'm like less socially awkward now, because I'm like going out every day. So yeah, that is one mini update. But yeah, talking about Samsara, I'll say, like, for the first book in the series, it was pretty good. Because it is an incomplete series, मेरा आधा जान तो उसी में जा रहा है, because I do not like, I, for the life of me, I just can't like leave book series middle में. Even if I want to like DNF the book, I will freaking like finish it. Like I told you guys about no, I didn't. Just right before this, like, I was filming another video, and I was talking about a book that I really wanted to like just drop. That was like a big snooze fest. But yeah, in this video, I'm not going to take the name of that book. You have to watch that video, which is like coming soon. But yeah, I have to say, like, the world building was slightly, very, very, very slightly complicated. I think that is not the right word. Wait, मुझे सोचने दो. No, I think the world building was not slightly complicated. What was complicated was like establishing the characters. Like, there are so many characters. Like, the writer somewhat like messed up when it came to characters. I guess that if the writer wouldn't have like introduced each main character separately, the book would have been like more interesting. The writer like was focused on establishing the character so much that the plot somewhat like the plot had less importance, like for the first half of the book. And that is why it kind of like sucked for me. But then the book did pick up, and definitely I'm going to pick up the second book whenever it like comes out. And yeah, the book Samsara got 2.5 stars from me. And I will not say like it is a bad book, but when you have like the second part, it will make sense. And I'm sure that I will give this book a good 3 star. Yeah, 0.5 star increase ho jayega if there is a part 2. The second book that I read in that video was Hotel Magnific, and oh my god, This book was like so freaking unexpectedly surprising for me in a good way. I solely picked up that book. Like I picked up Fourth Wing for like 4 rupees, 450 rupees or 449 rupees, something something. And that was the hardcover special edition, like with sprayed edges. And because that, like I had like a little bit of budget left, like 500, 600 rupees I had left, so I just went on Amazon and like I searched hardcover books for under 500, and I like found Hotel Magnific. And I instantly, like I just bought, like solely bought the book for the cover. Like I don't want to like pull out the book right now because like it is like nicely decorated on my shelf, but I will, like you guys can see like somewhere on the screen, I must have like put the cover. And I absolutely adore the cover. Okay, I got the book for the cover, I did not even read the gist because I just fell in love with the cover, like instantly. Insta love बोलते हैं ना, वैसे प्यार हो गया मुझे book cover से. And I just like picked that book up randomly because I had very few, like very less hardcover books, and I read that book and I was freaking surprised. Okay, you have to go and watch that video, like 24-hour reading fantasy books only, in like from my description box below. I had like the time of my life reading that book, and I gave it a 4 star. So like that is like saying something. The book involves like the plot of the book is like basically the sister Janie and her, I just forgot the name of the younger one, the younger sister. Like the younger sister is like I'm employed at this hotel magnific, and sister Janie, obviously she's the elder sister. Like a dutiful sister, she goes and like gets in the hotel, and this doorman is called Bell. And there are a lot of plot twists in that book. And the younger sorry, not younger sister, the elder sister Janie, somehow like in the quest of finding her sister and getting out of that hotel, which like magically disappears, goes through a lot of things. Like there were a lot of things that were like slightly like disturbing, but yeah, if you like read the book, I am sure like you'll fall in love with Bell's character as much as I did. Like Bell, oh my god, like he's like, oh my god, like I have no words. Like I will not even call him a book boyfriend or a husband. Like he is just Bell. He has like this high place, like one of my favorite characters of 2024. And yeah, that sums up Hotel Magnific for you guys. Then the last book that I read for the month of January was The Song of Achilles. And there was so much hype about this book. Most of the people gave that book a good 5 star, and most of them loved it. Talking about me, like it was my first Greek mythology book, by the way. And I did not know like mythology and like fantasy are like two different genres at that point, and I just picked up that book for fantasy. And I have to say, like I was slightly disappointed because I did not enjoy the book in the second half. Like the first half of the book, when they were like teenagers, was like so beautiful, so freaking beautiful. It was very beautifully written, like their entire relationship from like strangers to friends to to kind of lovers. It was so beautiful. But the second half of the book, when the battle happens, like it was so rushed. I did not enjoy it. I did not feel the emotions, that were supposed to be felt for Achilles and Patroclus. The only thing that I did, feel emotions for, I don't remember the name of that character. There was this female character who was like involved. Like I think she was like one of the slaves, or no, not slaves. She was like some kind of servant or slave or something on those lines. Like I think one of the villager. I don't remember much about like the name, but yeah, what happens to her, I like that instantly like broke my heart. Like I'm not someone like who gets emotional very easily, but yeah, that scene did make me emotional. And yeah, it is not worth the hype is what I will say. Like you can totally skip the Song of Achilles. There are many more books that you can read when it comes to Greek mythology. The Song of Achilles is not like one of the best books out there, and I gave it a 3 star. So yeah, these are all the 18 books that I read for the month of January. And that wraps up our month of January. Do let me know in the comments below which books you have read. If there are any books that you had different opinions about, I would love to know your perspective. Like, discussing about books is like, I can like sit on like chat whole day with you guys. I can sit and talk about it with you guys whole day. So do let me know in the comments below your thoughts, your favorite books, or any recommendations based on the books that I read. And yeah, that is it for from my side. Please subscribe to my channel. So many of you watch my videos but have not subscribed to my channel. This is a gentle reminder to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, please give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and follow me on Instagram. I have two accounts. One is for my fashion and my makeup content, and other one is a bookstagram where I post mini vlogs and bookstagram content. And yeah, with that I sum up this video. I will see you in my next video. Until next time, stay flawsome.